Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
I'm Monkey, and I'm a full theater geek.
And I forgot to do the... Yeah, okay. I'm Tiki. I'm a half theater geek. And together, what does that make us, Monkey?
It makes us people on a podcast.
Yeah.
And 1.5 theater geeks.
Indeed. People on the podcast that can't remember their whole damn intro, like 90% of the time we do it, and that's probably like a statistic fact if you looked it up. Like, we probably get it right like maybe 1 out of every 10 shows we do.
Well, does that count before we had the catchphrase?
I think we came up with the 1.5 theater geeks thing the first show. I'm pretty sure.
We might have. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that was a thing. Alright, anyways, everyone, first of all, before we get into the topic, I just kind of want to apologize for leaving this channel vacant for about a week. What can I say? Christmas in July just kind of burned me out. Can you blame me, Monkey?
No.
So, doing a Christmas special every day, I was just like, I definitely have a lot to do with the podcast. I really want to continue on. Christmas in July was the most ambitious thing yet, but gosh darn it, I need a break for a week. So yes, we're back again. We're back in full swing, and I'm sure we'll be doing, multiple shows a week from now on. So, if you guys thought that we were vanished from the interwebs because we've been gone a week, fear not. We are here, and we've got plenty of shows on the horizon. So, with that in mind, Monkey, what glorious show are we going to be talking about tonight?
We shall be discussing... What was it? Oh, yeah. It's about this person whose last name is... it's a color you associate with, say, tree trunks, and his first name is short for Charles, and the title states that it calls him a male who has positive qualities.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Well done.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Woohoo!
You're the kind of reminder we need. You have humility. Yeah.
Okay,
I show off a program I have, but it's kind of local stuff. Not sure I want to show that all over the interwebs.
Oh yeah, it's all good. So, we've actually got an interesting perspective on this. We kind of come from two different ways of looking at this particular production, which has been in production, Monkey, since 1962, am I correct?
67, maybe? It opened off Broadway in 67.
So, okay, so late 60s, not early 60s, gotcha. Alright, yeah. But my point being, this has been going on for decades. Like, this is one of the longest running shows, am I right?
Sure, so this means in a few years it'll be 50. Holy crap!
Damn. Yeah, case in point. There we go. So, this is a show that's been going on for, basically forever, since Broadway's heyday. And essentially, I'm a big Charles Schulz fan. I'm a huge Peanuts fan. Really, I started off with Calvin and Hobbes, and then I kind of realized that the Peanuts was even more deep than Calvin and Hobbes is. So there's a lot of Monkey. I think there's we could do a whole month of just talking about the Peanuts. There's just so much to get into with it. We can talk about the specials. We can talk about Schulz, his life, but. It's just, what I really love about the whole thing is that Charlie Brown is essentially, if you've ever seen a documentary that PBS did a while ago, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I'm probably going to reference it at least a couple times, but Blue Dragon 5, if he's watching, he'll know what I'm talking about. He's the one that recommended it to me. But, it talked all about how Charlie Brown is essentially, it's weird. It's like, all these different characters are kind of like breakdowns of Schulz's persona. Like Linus is the spiritual side. Lucy kind of represents his first wife. Charlie Brown, I believe, is Charlie Brown is like his avatar. You know what I mean? It's like his perception of himself, essentially.
And of
So,
course, now I'm imagining Charlie Brown as a giant blue cat thing.
oh no, oh no. I already saw Merle Dixon as a giant blue thing in Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't cat-like, but it was still very Na'vi-like.
Well, Nightiri was in it, right?
Yes, yes. Oh God. Well,
I had no idea until like maybe later that day or the following day after I saw it. I had no idea seeing it. Went from
yeah.
blue to green.
Yeah, well, me and Blue Dragon 5, we're going to do a whole spoiler podcast on Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow, so look for that. But Monkey, you're more intimately familiar with this show because you've done a production of it, and I assume you've seen more off-Broadway versions of it than you've seen the Broadway version.
When you say off-Broadway version...
we've had this discussion before. I mean, just like local productions. I don't mean like.
Really, it's just one.
Okay.
And even then, I'm not sure what version it is. I'm not sure. Like, it's supposed to be mainly the revival, but I think things are cut and things are added, and it's a way more characters. I think I might have taken some stuff from Snoopy the musical.
Right.
I should have. Maybe next chance I get, I should ask about that, like, with friends who are in it, ask them if they know. Yeah, because, like... Okay, so let me just clear this up. So, nearly 2.5 months ago, so back at the beginning of June, there's this theater group I've been with a couple of years, and for their kind of younger kids, so like 7 to 15 age, they did this, and they needed, like, a couple volunteers to help out backstage, so I volunteered to work on set crew, like stage crew.
Because it gets you ripped.
Huh?
Because it gets you ripped, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a Bates Motel reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of that was basically just a win around the wings. During like move the blocks that were used. One point, some of us, like, we all had to bring on some bleachers. I got to bring on a mailbox during the blackout.
Oh, okay, cool.
I feel like there was another thing. Oh, okay. I'll save that for when. There's one thing, but I'll save it for when we reach that part of the song.
Oh, build
a certain number.
Suspense. Nice.
Okay, so, yeah, and this was also really my way of getting acquainted with the show was through this production, like hearing it over the course of that week. So you can't entirely catch the dialogue totally clearly in the wings.
Right.
Yeah. And it's interesting, it's like I said, it's like, there are a lot of scenes that I highly doubt are in it, because there are like a ton of other Peanuts characters in it. Woodstock was in it, any little Woodstock pals.
Yeah, Woodstock definitely was not in the Broadway revival version that I saw, which, keep in mind, the version I saw, and this is interesting, this is kind of where our, where there's so many goddamn versions of this thing, it's ridiculous. It's like the Blade Runner of theater musicals.
Oh, Blade Runner.
But
so anyway. I'm just now imagining, like, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown special edition, and we'll have all the CGI creatures walking through.
And one has a film noir voiceover. Okay, can you imagine Good Man, Charlie Brown?
How are we gonna? I'm just trying to figure out how to work a Han shot first joke in it.
No, but Monkey, use your improv skills right now. Come up with a film noir narration for Good Man, Charlie Brown. Go.
Okay. It was another morning. I was late for school again because I missed the bus. During lunchtime, I became nervous because the little red-haired girl might be watching me, so I pulled a bag over my head. And then I became very, very conflicted because I didn't know whether it was better to be embarrassed by the little red-haired girl in case she might be looking at me, but there was the option that she might not be looking at me. I decided to take the bag off because in either scenario it was very hard to breathe in there, and she wasn't looking at me, which made me upset. And my day went on as any day might. Lucy had her unrequited love with Schroeder, Linus had his blankets, Snoopy was being irritated by his birds until he realized how far to the ground it is from his doghouse to the ground. Did I get redundant there? It doesn't matter.
All right.
And it ends in happiness. Overall, it was a good day. Thank you! Thank you!
Oh. Alright, so we just connected You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown to Blade Runner. We just did that.
I wasn't even going for Blade Runner. I was just...
Well, Blade Runner has a generic film noir narration, so it fits. It totally fits. Alright, well, anyways, so, I don't know, Monkey, do you want to, like, you know, basically the version I saw was, you know, it was...
Like that... Go on.
It was a production of the Broadway show, the Broadway revival with Anthony Rapp and everyone. And
Anthony Rapp. I'll just say this now. I can just totally picture Charlie Brown going to his goes to his mailbox. Good grief. Sorry. Another eviction notice. And deadpan expression on his face just pulls out. Sorry, pulls out a lighter.
Oh my God. How many? We should like totally have a tally of how many Rent jokes we're gonna make as Anthony Rapp. Oh God, because coming off of the the two-part Rent podcast, it's very appropriate.
Just saying, something I do kind of like even though like when I listen to Charlie Brown the Charlie Brown revival or the Rent OBC, like. Even though the voices are similar, there are, you know, kind of still different. Like, that's Charlie Brown and that's Mark. I mean, you might hear a little bit of the other character in them, but still, it's like, that's Mark. He's not Charlie Brown, even though there are traces of him, and vice versa, you could say.
Well, Mark is most definitely, you know, he's like kind of like bohemian, hipster, kind of Jewish guy. Yeah. And then Charlie Brown, of course, is the very hopeful, naive, innocent character. So they're very different characters. Like in a way, I think Mark and Charlie Brown kind of serve similar purposes in that they're both sort of the optimists of the story.
Now I can just totally picture Charlie Brown saying like, because I'm the only one to survive.
And then Linus just walks away. No, hold on.
With the Charlie Brown characters.
Oh God, really? Okay.
Maybe if you want to. Maybe I'll just do it on my own.
Lucy is Marine, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough. I don't think we have enough females.
No. Peppermint Patty is Peppermint Patty's Marine, and Marcy is Joanne.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my God, that fits so well. That's ridiculous.
For some reason, I could see Lucy as the Bagwoman.
Well, Lucy, what other female roles do we need? We need a Mimi.
Mimi. Maybe that could be Sally and Linus. Linus is
God, Roger. That kind of fits too.
Okay. Should Schroeder be Benny or Collins?
Oh God. Well, I'm thinking.
No, wait, maybe Schroeder. Yeah, Schroeder is Benny, and then Pigpen is Collins, maybe. Or Franklin is Collins. No, Franklin is Collins.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it racially the same.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, who is Angel? I'm not sure. I kind of want it to be Snoopy, but.
Going a little bestiality there, aren't we?
I know, that's the thing. The rerun is just too young.
I'm thinking Schroeder, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with Schroeder. Yeah, okay, yeah, musicians. They're both musicians.
Right.
And of course, Snoopy has to be Evita.
Oh God. Oh, poor Snoopy. Oh no.
I know. First Doxy's God, and now this.
And then finally, who's our Benny?
Benny, yeah. If we have no Benny, then God, we have Pigpen left over, but I don't know about that. Then.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Maybe Benny is
Pigpen.
Wait, yeah, maybe Benny is one of the adults.
Betty is just the embodiment of the adults. Yes.
Yeah. Like, he just lost.
Wah, wah,
He just
wah,
lost his
wah.
cat. Wah, 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 wah. My cat had a fall. It was like hell. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Champagne!
So are we actually going to talk about the musical? Like,
Oh yeah.
or are we just going to literally just sit here and make wet jokes for a third podcast in a row?
It doesn't have to be
Wow.
Rent. We can find some other musical. We'll find a way to tie it in. Like, I don't know. Maybe characters that these other people have played in theater. Like, okay, I can totally see this now. So we have Mark as Charlie Brown. Bonsai from the Lion King musical is Schroeder.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, because it's the same guy. Okay, so I guess who should BD Wong's character be? The scientist from Jurassic Park, maybe?
No, fuck that. The priest from Oz.
Okay, you know what? Let's go with Glinda and... Oh, gods. Carmen Gia for Snoopy.
Wait, what?
Carmen Gia from The Producers.
Oh, okay.
I'd go with Frederick Frankenstein, but I don't know, Carmen would probably be funnier.
Uh-huh.
I can totally picture it now.
So,
Okay, cast of your... No, I would go on with the poor people of Urinetown, but that's just wasting time. Let's not do this for now.
yeah, exactly. You want to, I don't know, you want to quickly kind of touch on your personal experiences with the show, and then we can kind of talk about the revival.
Okay, so yeah, the show, so it's not too bad of a show. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's the best, but I know it has a vignette nature to it that honestly could kind of go either way. I mean, yeah, it's like a way of sort of being like comics, like the comics, but
I
then
think that it kind of depends on the production values, and I'm going to get into that a
that could
lot
very well be the case.
when I talk about the Broadway revival. But yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
this is one of those things where if you don't have a lot of set, I don't really see it being very compelling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but then again, of course, I'm assuming originally, and again, like with mine as well, I think that's kind of the more common version. It's not that much set, like being really minimalist.
okay, well, I could.
Like, cause wasn't that a complaint some critic had about the Broadway version, about the revival, about it being like overblown?
I mean, to tell you, I think certain things about it are overblown.
I mean, yeah,
certain things about it that you know that I'll get to.
I mean, yeah, there are some really cool bits in there too. I mean, I don't mind it too much personally.
Oh, fuck, the Snoopy Red Baron scene. I mean, holy shit, that's gotta be one of the most.
I'm not familiar with the Red Baron scene really. I just got a quick glimpse of it tonight because the one I was involved with didn't have that scene.
All right, well, I can talk about all the technical stuff from the revival because I'm really into it.
Yeah.
But personally, I think it works really well because I think it gives the whole thing like a very, very like comic strip quality to it. Like, I don't know, like I haven't watched a minimalist version of this, so I guess, you know, I believe you when you say that's the more common approach because, of course, you know, most productions aren't going to have the budget of the fucking Broadway revival with Chenoweth and Anthony Rapp and all those other people. But, I don't know.
But, yeah, you know, if I may just comment on it, it's kind of funny how, unless it's like, you know, a youth production, and kind of like mine to an extent, but even then, even with mine to an extent, how you have adults playing these kids.
Right, yeah.
18 to look younger to the extreme.
And also, you know, just kind of something I noticed, just sampling. Like, I never watched a full performance, but I kind of sampled different performances, and, like, very racially diverse casts, just through.
Yeah, well, with the revival. Especially.
Well, I'm not just talking about the revival. The revival definitely keeps up that tradition, but I'm talking, you know, like, just high school cast, just, you know, like. And I think that's very cool. I think that's really, you know, it kind of fits in with, like, these characters are so universal, you know, and they're, I don't know, I really dig that about this production. I really do. I don't know why. It's just kind of a really kind of cool thing about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's because I can't find a segue into it, like, so it's kind of interesting little, I guess you could say, darkly funny thing about when I did it, or when I worked it, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was a pretty big cast, like, let me see if I can make a guesstimate around here, like,
You want me to tell you the characters that were in my version? Or more specifically, that weren't?
Weren't?
Yeah,
What do you mean,
the
weren't?
characters that were just not in the version that I saw, so that we can kind of compare.
Well, I mean, normally it's just, you know, Charlie Brown, Schroeder, Snoopy, Linus, Lucy, and then depending on the production, Sally or Patty, not Peppermint Patty, Patty.
Oh, okay, so the original Patty?
Yeah, because that,
Okay,
yeah, 'cause
interesting.
it became Sally for the revival.
Nice. Okay, I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
But
And
you
that's
said
how.
that Woodstock was in it, and of course
Oh yeah,
Woodstock
like
this.
yeah, like a whole lot of characters were in it, like, and they
Big
had their
Ben.
own little vignettes. Yeah, like there was a thing between Peppermint Patty and Rerun. There was something with
Right.
Violet and Pigpen. Roy had a line. Maybe that line goes to someone else in the regular script.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and like I said, a thing or two with Woodstock. Yeah, and a lot of like like ensemble and such.
Sure,
Like
sure.
like maybe a cast of like maybe at least 60, if that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this
Oh,
this
yeah.
group this group does big casts. most of the
Yeah.
time.
Ho, ho, ho. That is a big damn cast.
Yeah, I mean, not their biggest guy. I think one time, like, somewhere in the past year or two, it might have exceeded 100 or gotten really close with one of their shows. But I mean, on some occasions, like, on a couple occasions, they've had a smaller cast, but
Mhm.
I kind of like what I'm going to get into. Okay, so you have this big cast, and, there'd be, like, choreography where, all these kids dancing, like, or like a scene where everyone runs across the stage at one point, disrupting Schroeder's piece, and it would make the stage tremble. I could feel the tremble from it.
Okay.
So the last show I had done with this group, cast of
Uh-huh.
28, just saying. So the last show I did there, that I was in, opening night was interrupted, had to be stopped. I mean, we invited the audience back for, like, to see Act 2 on a later night, but yeah, so
Right.
opening night had to be stopped because of an earthquake.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And here's the crazy part about that.
Okay.
Like not only, like, it was not too
Was
long
it during
after
the rubble part?
the what? The
The
what?
part where the stage shook?
Stage shook. No, I'm not talking about Charlie Brown. This wasn't during Charlie Brown.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, Charlie Brown was like almost. Charlie Brown was a little over 2 months after this earthquake.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
The earthquake was during, like, this group's previous show, which I happened to be in. So, Earthquake, which was not too long after the title number, and so, which of course, this show just happened to be All Shook Up.
Oh, wow.
Like, after, oh god, Earthquake during All Shook Up. Wow, that just feels like really bad taste. Pun.
Yeah.
Every times. Thank God we were able to go on. Loved that show. But anyway, so whenever, like, this would happen during Charlie Brown, and like all the stopping and foot stuff and such was making the stage tremble. Flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because this earthquake, like, I'm sure others sections, like, farther away it wasn't as bad, like other places, but when this earthquake happened during the show, we were pretty close to the epicenter.
Right. So that's like, that's like the big thing. Like, you and me could both attest to living in California. It's like, you do not want to be in the middle of a building when there's an earthquake. That is like rule number one. It's like you want to be anywhere except the center of a building.
Yeah, keep in mind, we have, like, all these lights above the stage, or during this, because it was during a song, and during that part of the song, like, it's just one guy on stage standing on a bridge,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, no one was hurt. We were able to continue performing, but yeah, so like I was saying, flashbacks.
That's crazy. Oh, man. All right, so
Anyway,
let's see. Do you have any other stories about when you were performing the show?
um, I don't know if it's quite a story. I guess you could call it a story, but I'll save it for when we talk about the opening number.
Okay, so I guess, if you don't have anything else to say about the any other versions of the production, you want to start talking about the revival version, which
Okay,
is, keep in mind the only version that I have actually seen,
of course.
mostly because I love myself some Anthony Rapp and also some BD Wong. So all right, with that in mind, let's get to it. With the opening, so the video I watched, the opening was basically like a bunch of portraits of the Peanuts characters, like basically comic strip panels
Yeah, and they
that would
light
light
up
up.
when during
Right,
each
right.
little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I got. So we get a little a little snippet from each character, and of course we have the whole thing with Lucy, like, Linus, I want you to pay attention to this face. This is a failure face.
I love the bit like it's Linus and he just says, "I think Charlie Brown has nice hands." I think in my production it was like he says that, and then the light stays on him for a little bit before it goes to the next one, the next character. Funny stuff.
Oh God, yes. Okay, so then when does it kind of transition into Charlie Brown waking up?
I think isn't it like right after Failure Face?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Charlie Brown comes in, and then he has this whole little kind of mini monologue about happiness, right? And that kind of ties into the
Kinda.
whole.
Like
That kind of
Start
ties.
of Another Day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Start another day, and it gives me a very warm feeling. And I really like Anthony Rapp's delivery of that, like in the the soundtrack and everything, and the version I saw. Just you were talking about the differences between Mark and Charlie Brown. I think it's not, I think it's just really apparent when Charlie Brown is just like so positive, and because Anthony Rapp, he really just kind of delivers just this, of course, very childlike, appropriately, just kind of like air of happiness in his voice, just air of giddiness.
I think I mentioned in one of the Rent episodes, I commented how, like, when I was finishing up Charlie Brown, I was like, okay, so I know it's Anthony Rapp, so when I get to watching Rent, am I just gonna see Charlie Brown? Keep hearing Charlie Brown?
Right, right.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
And of course, with me, it was the exact opposite.
Lovely.
I'm just like, where are all the masturbation jokes?
Doxy's God.
Oh God, yes, yes. Blow me. Oh, we'll get to that.
If you insist. Sorry.
Oh no, oh no.
I'm sorry. Sorry, people.
I had one YouTube phallic thing that I can tell you about off camera that I am not very proud of from my YouTube past. But I'll tell you about that off camera.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that. Oh man. Oh that.
Yeah, if we ever discuss Music Man, I can bring up the dick joke I got away with in that show.
Speaking of dick jokes, hey, they got my dick message.
Huh?
They got my dick message.
Rent?
Guardians.
Oh, right.
All right. So anyways, you want to talk about the opening number?
Okay, so seriously, like in that bootleg, and I'm pretty sure in the original as well, the opening is more of a marching band style number than on the cast recording, and say my production, not the case. Yeah. Interesting. And then like in the revival, there's that bit with the bus.
Right. Which it's just like kind of like the first little bit of the awesome production value that's going to be in it, and
yeah.
I can't see the criticism there of it being overblown. I really can't, because it complements it so well because it's just like all these sets. It's like what I love. It's like it's literally colored. Oh yeah, you've definitely got the perspective for sure. But I also love the color of it. I love how certain things are like look like they're colored in with crayon. You know what I mean? It's just got a very, very distinct childlike look to the whole thing. Very comic book like, and it just gives the whole thing such a distinct identity.
Okay, so kind of funny with the bus. So in my production, so you have like it was kind of the kind of thing where you'll have like a big wooden cutout of a vehicle, and you'll have the cast members just carrying it along across the stage.
Right.
So then one of my crew duties was to catch the bus. So you have this big long bus. It takes and there are like 7 kids or so behind it. So it was like you have all 3 of us crew volunteers back in that wing to grab the bus. Like kind of one at the front, one in the middle, me in the back. And then one of them, I think, the middle one left to go, I think, help with the next set change. So then the one at the front and I, like, in the blackout, we go behind the set to put the bus on the other side of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, catching the bus. Sometimes.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a decent opening. I'm not a huge fan of this, but maybe that's because I'm more used to the marching band version than I am because I do like the other version. So, but anyways, so
musical theater guy I am. Whenever, like in the cast recording, was like trying not to rock the boat. It just makes me think Guys and Dolls.
Right, of course. So then we get that little monologue that you referenced in your little film noir opening about how Charlie Brown's just being really anxious about the little red-headed girl.
Yeah, and at some point during the bag bit, like Sally walk up and like Lucy draws a dress on the bag.
Right. Okay, and I guess now is as good a time as any to address my big, major elephant in the room issue with the Broadway revival, if you want to just jump right into it, because it's a pretty controversial statement.
Might as well.
Okay, Kristen Chenoweth, who won a Tony for her role in this as Sally Brown, bothers the ever-living crap out of me. Like, oh my god, she is just, like, obnoxious as hell. And I don't, okay, I get that it's her character to be, like, to be, like, an overly energetic little girl. Like, I totally get that. But, like, is there a theater equivalent to mugging for the camera?
There probably is. Hell, maybe it even is just mugging.
Just mugging, and, well, that's exactly what she's doing. It's exactly what she's doing. Every fucking minute she comes on stage, it's just like, oh, look at me, look how much energy I have, look, I'm a little girl, blah, 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 blah. I don't like her outfit. I don't like the look of her character. I don't get why they don't have her in the classic sky blue dress. Why is that? Do you have any insight on that? Is it just because it looks too similar to Lucy's dress? I don't know, but I don't like the pink. And she basically looks like Effie fucking Trinket.
Who?
Effie Trinket from the Hunger Games.
I'm not familiar with Hunger Games.
Yeah. Come on, Monkey. Come on.
I'm not. No.
I don't know. I just don't just the pink and it's just. I don't like the design of her. I don't like the costume. I don't like the performance. I don't like the song that they gave her. I really don't like anything about Chenoweth in this. I really think she's the weak link, and I know she won a Tony for it, and everyone loved her song, and everyone just goes nuts for her. And I love her in Wicked. Don't get me wrong. In general, I am a Chenoweth fan. I am not just a hater of the Chenoweth. I really do love her in Wicked. Here, oh God, I think sure her whole like little girly voice routine that she does, that I think she pulls off a lot better in Wicked, because it actually is way more constrained, but I think here it's just racked up to 11. But anyways, so that's my big controversial viewpoint. Everything else about this, every single other cast member, I think, nails it out of the park. And I get that she's trying like hell, but that's the thing, is that she's just trying so... It's just... It's kind of like Benny from Rent, if we're going to make another Rent comparison. You know what I mean? Because
now I want to see Taye Diggs as Sally.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Or Rodney Hicks. Whichever.
But I'm just saying, like, with the Benny that was in the film performance of Rent.
So Rodney Hicks.
Yeah, you know how he, like, every line he says is just, like, totally just full of, like, enunciation and, you know, like, and so I feel like with the Sally character, it's very much like that. It's just, like, and it just grates on my nerves. I don't like it at all. So, there we go. You know, I know it's like she won a Tony for it and everything, but to quote Ren and Stimpy, no, sir. I didn't like it. All right. Well, anyways, so what's next in our little performance, Monkey? What's next in our story?
Is it Schroeder?
Yeah. This is where, indeed. So you want to go? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I was like gonna start crewing, I was like, okay, so I know this one is Moonlight Sonata. So what are the odds that during the song I'm just gonna be thinking of Ask That Guy with the Glasses?
Right.
Now it's kind of might be the other way around. Like if I hear Moonlight Sonata, I'm gonna think of Schroeder.
At least it's not Musetta's Waltz.
I jumped over the
moon! Oh God, I think I've officially like made it my mission to work as many Rent jokes into here as possible now. Curse me in my need to reference myself.
Yeah, I'm sure I have at least 2 references for a certain future episode.
Oh God.
Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then of course in contrast you have. So I'm guessing the idea is that Lucy is supposed to sound really, for lack of a better word, unpleasant.
Hasn't that always kind of been her character, though?
I would assume that's why that's the case.
Yeah, Lucy's a very complex character, man. Like, she's one of those characters where you can totally appreciate her a lot more as an adult than you do as a kid. Because as a kid, you're just like, oh, she's the mean girl that's always a bully to Charlie Brown. But it's like, there's so much more complexity to her than that.
Angelica Pickles.
I actually think it's more of a Helga Pataki.
Okay.
You know, I do, because I think she really does admire Charlie Brown as just a stand-up guy.
She has a gum shrine of Charlie Brown.
Oh, God. No, but I think her whole thing is that she admires him as just kind of the stand-up guy, you know, but she doesn't want to be soft on him, and so that's why she kind of bullies him and kind of treats him like shit. And I think the version of her dynamic with Charlie Brown, and this is very accurate to what's portrayed in the comics. Of course, going back to the whole thing about how Lucy was Schultz's first wife, like basically like the embodiment of Schultz's first wife. So that kind of says a lot about that relationship, you know, really interesting sort of psychological stuff there. But anyways, anything you want to say about the actual song? Because I don't particularly think it's one of those songs for me that I don't particularly think is very memorable.
Yeah, I guess I find it amusing. Yeah, like I said, it's made me look at Moonlight Sonata in a new way.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, so now we get my favorite bit of the whole thing, which is the song Snoopy. This is easily my favorite song. Easily my favorite, my favorite scene in general. It's just great. I love the whole thing. It's let's see, who's the guy who does Snoopy?
Roger Bart.
Roger Bart, yeah, just fantastic performance. You said he won a Tony. Yeah, okay. So that's good. That's one of 2 that was well deserved. Oh god. Chenoweth. I'm just gonna bow. I'm just gonna be super energetic and bug to the stage the whole time. Oh god. Okay, but I just like my favorite part of that Snoopy bit is when it goes all dramatic and the lighting turns all red, and he talks about like being a wild creature and whatnot, and it's like, all pounce, and you know the whole like. We got
the kazoos in there as well.
Oh god, and just the just kind of the that's really that whole dramatic thing is like the middle of the song, but then the bookends of the song are so pleasant. The whole like
pleasant day,
bad.
pretty sky.
Oh god.
On, here I lie. I've got to say, if I ever actually perform in this show someday, like
you totally might be Snoopy.
Snoopy or Charlie Brown, maybe even Schroeder.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I could totally see you as Snoopy.
Thanks.
But yeah, that song is so well constructed, man. Like, in general, I think a lot of these songs are kind of forgettable, but that song is clearly, like, the highlight. And, of course, I love the little bit. It's kind of like an off-camera reference to Woodstock when he's like, little birds on my stomach.
My production, Woodstock and his little pals actually showed up.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't on Snoopy's stomach, they just, formed a little circle around his doghouse.
With their claws that are very sharp and occasionally painful.
Sometimes there's so many, I can hardly stand it!
And then, of course, the great last line. Huh, I never realized how far up from the ground I am.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's not the last line of it, but...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. But just overall, that song is absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, I really loved it. I really got into it. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of this soundtrack in general, but that one song is just definitely...
I get the feeling you have favorable feelings towards it.
Yes, I do. Have you ever guessed?
I have a knack for these things.
Okay, so anyways, let's see. Then after that,
is
the blanket fantasy, right? So, all right, you want to take us through that?
So Linus enjoys his blanket. Lucy and Sally laugh at him, so he's like, "No, I'll just leave it on the ground. I don't need it."
By the way, it bothers me that this might be like my big beef with Sally, but I feel like Sally is very out of character here because she's all catty and bitchy, and that's just not her character at fucking all. It's like, what happened to that? What happened to that, Sally? Why is she just Lucy's lackey in this? I guess that's what bothers the fuck out of me about it, is that it's not even appropriate to the character, and it's just Kristen Chenoweth just... It's like, I like, if it was Kristen Chenoweth basically doing the same performance that she's doing, except the character is more fateful, I think I wouldn't have a problem with it. So I guess that kind of takes away some of my beef with Chenoweth, and now I guess my issue is kind of more the writing of the character itself. Do you see where I'm coming from there?
Yeah.
Because I just don't get why they made this Sally character into just sort of this, like, high-strung... I don't know. It just doesn't fit with the Sally Brown of the comics at all. The Sally Brown of the comics was pretty much the sweetheart of the group, if I'm remembering correctly, right?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just maybe I just remember Sally the wrong way. I don't know. It's just, to me, she always was just like kind of like the sweet little innocent girl, that just had the crush on Linus, But but in this she's just overly catty, and I think that's my whole problem with it. But anyways.
Anyway, so in the revival, there's that bit where with Linus in the dancing blanket.
Okay, that wasn't in any of the other versions.
Not that I know of. I think that was probably just the revival.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these dance breaks, like this one, were probably made for the revival.
Okay.
Like a lot of songs got altered. Like again, we had Andrew Lippa come in to revise some of the songs, and he added the 2 new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I definitely do really like the blanket fantasy dance, though. I think it's clearly one of the more memorable set pieces of the whole thing. It's just everyone comes out, right?
With a blanket, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, oh man,
And of course, at one point it goes, the dance music turns into Linus and Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Gives me a smile. I get a big smile.
Yeah, right. And doesn't Snoopy come in dancing too?
Yeah, I'm sure he has one as well.
Yeah, like it comes in and he's, it doesn't come in dancing to the tradition. Doesn't it break off into the traditional Peanuts music?
That's what I said, Linus and Lucy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's where Snoopy comes in, man. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody on YouTube said they saw a production where the cast just suddenly went into the iconic dance moves. And the audience applauded.
Yeah, right. That's the version I saw, definitely. Because how can you not applaud at that? That's just awesome. And a very similar thing happens in at least the version that I saw of Dog Sees God when they go into the iconic dance position.
Yeah.
Okay, so so let's see. Is this where we get the kite?
I would think so. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what happens between those 2 songs. I'm sure I had vignettes.
Sally gets a C on her coat.
On the coat hanger sculpture, of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. How could I forget? Wait, in the one you watched, does it have the adult voices?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I know mine did.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we get the kite, is it?
Yeah. This very much speaks to the vignette nature of this whole thing. Like, I feel like the kite is very much represent. Like, it's like, okay, like here's a classic Charlie Brown kind of scenario, and we're just gonna play it out on stage.
Okay, so with the revival, I know it's probably really hard to tell because of the terrible video quality, but do we ever see the actual kite or just the string?
No, we see the kite.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very, once again, it's just really impressive on a technical level because it's like...
how is it done in that then?
Okay, so let me see. Essentially, there's I feel like there's a moving background,
Okay.
That's just kind of moving, to give the illusion of... I think Charlie Brown's running in place, and the background is the thing that's actually moving. Yeah. And then the kite comes in, and the kite is just kind of on a crane or something, I'm guessing. It's all very complicated, but
on a wire or something?
Yeah, maybe? Something like that. Right. And
mine, the kite was attached to, on a wire to, I forget what the actual term is, one of those little pipes for a flight system.
Right.
Yeah. There was a guy backstage at the police just lowering it and raising it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I am not a fan of this thing as a musical. Okay. I am a big fan of this thing as an homage to the comics.
Yeah. So something I think I wondered during my experience, my time with it, should it have just been, what would it be like if it was a straight play? I think I wondered that.
I think it would have been fantastic.
Yeah. Kind of fun. I remember at some point, it was probably just due to the length of tech and such, first tech rehearsals. But yeah, I think at some point in Act 1, Charlie Brown's in this.
Right, right.
Yeah, like on the vignettes thing, like, you ever heard of a musical called Company?
I think I vaguely heard of it.
It's like Sondheim, like 1970 or so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that,
I
cause,
wouldn't know much about it.
yeah, I mean,
The
because that
name
show it has
sounds
more of a
vaguely
theme, but
familiar.
that's also done in vignettes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little more linear, you could argue, but yeah.
sure, sure.
It's just kind of funny to think how there's like, basically, I just find that a funny thought that this could be Company for kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I like really in terms of the songs, I feel like Snoopy and Happiness would be the only two ones that I like actively miss
I
if
get
this was done as a straight musical.
Yeah.
And I don't know, or I mean not as a straight musical, as as a straight play.
Just keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, but that's a very interesting idea that Monkey presents, is the idea of, doing this as a straight play, and I really do think that this, I appreciate this so much because I am a big Schulz fan. I'm a big reader of the comics, and I just love the vignette quality to it in general. Just don't think the vignette quality really lends itself well to a musical.
Yeah. I'm just curious, if I may ask, did you watch the animated adaptation?
I didn't know there was an animated adaptation.
Yeah, they adapted it into a special.
Okay, I knew there was a special called You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I just did not know it was directly adapted from that.
Yeah. I know I saw that in Snoopy the musical. I saw them once years ago. There's something I want to say about one of the pictures that just popped up on there. I'm not sure I want to say it though. Kind of personal stuff.
Oh
but,
God.
Okay, I'll say it. They're like something related to my production popped up in your thing.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's just the Google image results.
Yeah.
On a slideshow.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But yeah. So anyway, it was like, I saw the animated one years ago once on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like some years ago, like a while back, I remember like there was some commercial for it being released on DVD or something, and then otherwise I just watched some, a couple bits and pieces lately, like around when I was working it. So.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see what's the next little bit we have. Is it
I know.
Oh, the
revival. Does the revival of the whole Valentine's Day vignette?
You know what? I don't think it does. You want to talk about that? Maybe it does. I'm not.
From your thing, does it just go straight from the kite to the Doctor's Inn?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Right.
Okay, because I think the Valentine's Day thing is normally a part of it. It's like. Like Charlie Brown
is just remembering it wrong.
Charlie Brown is Charlie Brown is nervous about giving Lucy a Valentine, fearing he's worried he'll mess up, saying, "Here you go, Lucy, Happy Valentine's Day."
Mm-hmm.
So he's practicing it. He meets Lucy, and instead of Happy Valentine's Day, he says Merry Christmas.
Oh no! Okay, that is in there. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay, so then we go to the Doctor's Inn after. Oh yeah, and Sally taunts Charlie Brown. I think I realized why you don't have any Valentines. Nobody sent you any.
Yeah, thank you. Again, another, just Sally being bitchy for no reason because it's just not part of her character. What? Am I just remembering it wrong, Monkey? From your recollection, was she that bitchy? Because I remember the character being very sweet. Being very good-hearted. So that's why it bothers me so much that they're basically
maybe she could have a moment or two. I don't know.
But they basically just reduced her to Lucy's lackey, and then people are just like, "Oh my God, Kristen Chenoweth is so adorable!" Give her.
I was not expecting you to throw Kristen Chenoweth, Tony Award. Okay, so Doctor's Inn then.
Yeah. Once again, I don't really find the melody particularly memorable. honestly.
Yeah, it probably is one of those. Hold on, I want to see. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll show this. This was like backstage, kind of like around the end of a rehearsal.
Okay. Oh.
It's me in the psychiatrist booth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Last
Awesome.
time.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll need to remember a particular story for when we reach Beethoven Day, but yeah.
I think it's a little bit lazy the way that it's just like, oh, Charlie Brown, you have all these problems, but hey, you're you, and that cheers you up, right?
You know, now that I think about it, it probably could have been just dialogue.
Again, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if the crabbiness survey is just dialogue, that goes on for a while.
Sure,
so
exactly.
Could have made that a song.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I definitely think you're onto something when you like. I would like to see someone attempt to do this as a straight play. I think that'd be an interesting experiment because I really do think that the vignette nature of it would work well in that sort of environment. So I don't know. I really don't have much to say about the therapy song.
Okay, so Beethoven Day is next, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, one of the new songs for
and it
the
isn't,
revival.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, right. To me, it's like the two new songs in the revival are just like, hey, we need a song for Schroeder, and hey, we need a song for Sally. And they're kind of shoehorned in there, very sloppy, I think.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, personally,
actually, the Schroeder one makes a little bit more sense because they kind of come back to it with the rehearsal and stuff like that, so they work it in a little bit more. The Sally one bothers me, but I'll get to that when I get to that. But
yeah, okay, kind of funny story I have. So
yes.
Okay, so in our production, we had like there'd be some people in the back holding Beethoven Day signs. I have a picture on here of one of the signs. I'm not entirely sure how clear the image will be, but it's like Beethoven's smiling and he's got a party hat. So, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it?
Yes, that's great.
Okay, so it's after the last show, you know. So I'm driving home afterwards. I'm stopped at like the turn before the turn to go on the freeway. I look in my rearview mirror, and whoever's behind me has a Beethoven sign in the passenger seat. So it looked like Beethoven was in the car. I'm like, Beethoven. Beethoven Day. That was beautiful.
Okay, was Dog Sees God a thing when they did the revival?
I don't think so.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Okay, now I'm wondering if they based the Beethoven character partially on the song then. Because I don't know.
Beethoven. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dog Sees God was 2004. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
That was afterwards.
Right. All right, and then is that basically? Oh no, and then after Beethoven Day.
Report.
Yeah. This is.
And the revival has Sally and Snoopy chasing rabbits as well.
I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's cool because it has Snoopy in it. But again, it's one of those scenes that very much just feels like, hey, you know, this is something that probably happened in the strip on more than one occasion. So let's make a scene about it. And I can appreciate that to a certain. To tell you the truth, this is probably the one scene that Chenoweth kind of embodies the comic Sally. So I'll give it that. She doesn't annoy me here. But yeah. So
and then isn't there that bit with Lucy and Schroeder like, Schroeder, what did you do with your picture of me that I gave you? I threw it away. With your own hands? Yes. Ah, he touched my picture! He touched my picture!
Oh, good stuff. Okay, so yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yep. I friggin' love the part, like this one Schroeder part, the one that begins with like, down came the sack on his head, smashed, and that whole section. I friggin' love that section.
I just think it's very creative the way that they like
depict the various approaches.
Yeah. It's oh man, like once again, it's kind of like with
And
Snoopy,
even
it's
like
like
if you're, and even like older people can relate to the feelings of like say, BSing to meet the requirement or just
oh,
procrastinating.
absolutely. I mean, like especially like college classes and
And they
whatnot.
were very, 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 very happy to be home. The very, very, very end. And then we get
Oh
Charlie.
god.
Let's see. There's Charlie Brown's whole thing about. I'm not sure if I can actually recount it all off the top of my head. Something about not being really rested and things, and asked till Wednesday and things and things. And,
Right. Yeah. Right. His whole thing is basically like procrastination, and
yeah. And then let's see. Schroeder is comparing it to Robin Hood.
yeah.
Basically, he's just recounting Robin Hood's and slightly tying it in. Like they ran like rabbits. Peter Rabbit did sort of the kind of thing too. And then Linus.
Which is something that I have probably done on more than one occasion. Like,
Okay,
had an essay assignment and then like, you know what? I'm gonna tie this into like a movie that I like or some shit like that. Just so. I'm pretty sure I did that at one point with The Social Network. I'm pretty damn sure. At one point I had like an essay about social media or something like that, some shit like that. And I was like, and The Social Network was just out, and Social Network's one of my favorite movies of all time. And so I just went nuts with it. I was like, okay, the movie The Social Network, blah 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 blah. Okay, but anyways.
Yeah, and then Linus, of course, is being all overly analytical.
Yes, which
I love how in the revival
that I'm guilty of. Another thing that I'm guilty of in my writing.
I love how in that revival video it gets a big laugh when in examining a work such as Peter Rabbit. He gets a big laugh. What is it?
P.D. Wong,
and
once
his
again,
duties.
P.D. Wong's delivery is just like absolutely like this guy embodies a Linus character.
I also wish to examine the motives of Mr. McGregor and his conflicting duties as farmer and humanitarian.
That's great. Oh my god, good stuff. Okay.
And for some reason at the end he says amen.
Right. Hey, because Linus is a spiritual one of the group. It makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so let's see. So any other...
And then there's that... In the revival video, there's that monologue that I had no idea existed until watching that video. It's like, my production was just book report, curtain.
Weird. Okay. All right. So that ends Act 1. Just really quickly, I like the background. I particularly like the background in this song where it's just all the different all the different pieces of paper with just like nonsensical scribblings.
Oh yeah.
Really good stuff.
Insert eviction notice joke here.
Oh god. No. Okay, now I can just see Sally burning her report cards for getting C's.
Yeah. Yeah. How dare you give me a C?
Oh god.
How do you get good grades when the teachers hate your coat hanger sculptures? It really burns my heart, tears it apart. See!
Okay. Oh, that was great.
Thank you.
All right. So Act 2. So you said you don't have the Snoopy Red Baron bit.
No, we didn't have the Red Baron bit. My guess is they cut it for practical reasons or whatever, or just to keep the show going at a faster pace, to not slow it down.
And really,
I got a little bit of it, where like he was in the doghouse and it was tilting and the sky was spinning.
Yeah, and it looks like fucking amazing. Seriously, like the quality I watched was shitty, but this particular scene, I was just like, holy crap! This is literally the most impressive scene I've ever seen, and on a technical level,
Of course,
because
must have been like to see it live.
yeah, oh man,
Kind of funny thought I just had.
uh-huh.
So maybe I'm just doing a kind of Schroeder pool of just tangentially related, slightly related.
Right.
So like, okay, so you have this thing which played in the Ambassador Theater, and of course you said, as you're saying, it's like the big production values. And today, the Ambassador Theater is where Chicago is playing, and that show is incredibly minimalistic.
Right.
Irony!
Oh god.
Yeah.
Um.
And if we're gonna do a Rent things, Adam Pascal was in it last year.
Oh no.
In
Did he play
Chicago.
Billy Flynn?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Yeah, I think he started like right before I arrived.
I just cannot picture that. I just cannot picture Roger as a slimy corporate lawyer. I just that just does not compute to me. I'll have to try and look that up.
Yeah, he was playing. Yeah, I think it like just started during my New York trip. I didn't see Chicago during then, but oh well.
I need to try to look up some footage of that.
I know there was like an interview with him about it, and he's in the costume and such. I don't know about the actual performance, but
There's going to be an SLC Punk 2, which I'm really looking forward to. But I digress.
Let's see. Well, Anthony Rapp is currently in If Then, which stars Idina Menzel, and Idina Menzel was in Wicked with Kristen Chenoweth, who was in the show, like with the song we're about to get to. There, I brought it back.
Yeah. Okay. So
references and connections.
My new philosophy. I really don't like this song at all.
Okay. Kind of like, you know that bit near the end where she goes through all of them at once, like. That's what you think. Why are you telling me? No, I can't stand it.
I don't even get this song. I don't even get what the fuck she's trying to say. I don't get what the philosophies are. I get that this song was just written specifically for Chenoweth to win a fucking Tony, and it bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, so anyway, so that bit I was just talking about, like when she's doing all of them at once, when she reaches I Can't Stand It, like both in my production and the revival, it always makes me think of that bit in Singing in the Rain where Lena Lamont's getting elocution lessons and it's like, I can't stand him.
I can't stand him.
Can't.
Can't.
Can't. Oh, Lena Lamont.
But yes, I mean, am I, like, are you kind of with me? Like, I don't even get why this song exists, except, like, oh, Sally needs a song because we got Kristen Chenoweth. What do you think?
I could be. Maybe I'm on both sides.
Like, it's very, like, artificially catchy, I guess. You know, it's very just, like, I don't know. When I say artificially catchy, I mean it's like it's written like a standard pop song. It's just like it's got like a bridge chorus, and I don't like it at all. And I don't get what the lyrics are even trying to say. I don't get what the philosophies are.
Sally doesn't actually get the idea of philosophies.
Is that what it is? Is that what it's
supposed to be?
Okay.
And Schroeder is trying to explain that to her, but she doesn't get it.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Just not my favorite, but anyways.
Yeah, so I'm glad I take it you didn't see a PM I sent a while back. I'm glad you apparently didn't see that. I suggested a Walk in Wiseau cover of that song.
Oh no. Oh god.
No, we don't have to do it. Let's not do it.
Yes.
And then I thought, like, for the bit with Lucy at the end, it could be Hipster Donald.
Oh no, this is the last day? Oh no! The last day for characters!
See, after philosophy is the crab being a survey, right?
Just one thing that I forgot to go over with the Red Baron scene. Mm-hmm. Like, Snoopy literally does a complete loop-de-loop, and I have no idea how the fuck they pulled that off. Just no idea.
You mean, like, so the actor actually goes upside down and such?
Yes. Like, the actor actually completely flips upside down. Like, basically, he's on the house, and it does a complete loop, and he's upside down.
I need to look at that.
It's stunning. And the thing, like, and the perspective of, like, it gets, like, it gets closer and farther away from the ground. Oh my god,
Oh my god.
it's amazing.
Okay.
It's,
Random thought.
yeah.
What if this show was directed by Julie Taymor? I'd love to see that.
Oh my god. Oh no. Because yeah, I mean it's
Oh god,
definitely.
what's up? Like when he's the Red Baron, like the doghouse will fly over the audience, and somehow will work in the equivalent of the anthill lady. I'm not entirely sure how. Like the baseball mound lady.
I mean oh god.
And then instead of the yeah. Well, and then we can, and then during the part about like all the so many birds, we'll have like we'll do something like the wildebeest stampede, only it's with little woodstock.
Yeah.
I can just imagine people with like these tribal woodstock masks running places, and the tree branch comes down for him to jump on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
But
So after that,
it's very much got the Taymor sort of sense of over-the-top theatricality in the sets. I mean, I'll give it that much. It already kind of feels sort of Taymor-esque, just in how over-the-top the production of the sets are. And I disagree with the critic. I definitely think it's very much over-the-top in a good way. But yeah. But anyways, what's after my new philosophy?
it's the crabbiness survey, right?
Excuse me. Actually, I think it's the Little League scene.
Well, yeah, but in between them is crabbiness after Little League? I don't remember. Crabbiness is.
It's after the Little League.
Oh right, I think that is the case. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this Little League song is probably among my least favorite. This and the Glee Club one.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Although something interesting, I didn't catch it until I was listening to it earlier tonight. But this is going to be really interesting for when we reach Doxy's God. Like, basically at the end... Okay, first off, this I always caught how basically most of the song is Charlie Brown describing it to his pen pal.
Right, yeah, right.
And the bit I didn't catch until tonight is how, like, he's... At the end of the song, he's like... Basically says, hey, pen pal, I hear it's really nice when you live. Can you send me directions on how to get there?
Right, yeah.
And then throw in the end of Doxy's God into your mind.
Oh boy, Santa Rosa, California. Yes, it is quite nice here. Thank you, Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Doxy's God, the ending of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Charles Schulz resides in Santa Rosa, California, which is like one town away from me.
Oh, so that's the place they're describing at the end of Doxy's God.
Yes, it was.
So there's the little boy who plays music and the dog and the bird who play.
I guess.
That's for the next one, I suppose. But anyway,
yeah.
So ball game. And now is the crabbiness survey or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good example of a scene that's done well without needing a song.
Yeah, goes on a little while, but and then Lucy basically.
Like it.
And then Lucy's just like, oh, why should I live? Dark.
Yeah. But I love Linus's response though, and again, B.D. Wong's delivery, great, because you have a little brother who loves you.
Ah! Okay, no, I'm just saying this because we skipped over it earlier, but there's the whole "We Will Be Queen" sequence
Right
after Blanket.
Yeah.
I love like, give me the remote. Change the channel back. I'm not one of your loyal subjects. You can't make me. See these 5 fingers? Individually, they are nothing. But if I curl them all together like this, yes, Your Majesty.
And you know, again, like with the perspective, I love when they're sitting on the couch and the couch is like way oversized.
Huge.
So cool.
Yeah. So after that is Glee Club, right?
Yeah, and like you said,
do you think they've done any of the songs from this show on Glee?
Oh God. The only one I could really see is maybe Happiness.
Yeah.
Or maybe My New Philosophy. Ugh, I hate to say it, but that song is just so fucking poppy. I don't know. The funny thing, like, it's like all the songs are very childlike, so it's like it'd be hard to work them into like high school scenarios. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't exactly know how Glee does it or how they fit all of them in. I'm not a Glee person, but
yeah, nor am I.
Well, I'm actually checking to see if they ever did. I don't know if they did. Let's just leave it as an unknown for now. Could go either way.
It seems unlikely to me because, like I said, a lot of the themes are very, like... I just don't think the themes would fit into what Glee does. Because I know Glee, it's just very much like they take the songs and they apply it to high school drama and whatnot, so...
Mm-hmm.
But, If
Dog Sees God was a musical.
I'm glad it's not.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So, Glee Club, yeah, again, not a huge fan of that one.
No, it's... I mean, it kind of just very, very loosely ties back to Schroeder's whole Beethoven Day thing. I guess. I don't know. Again, it's kind of like the plot is very messy and not very specific. You know,
it's
because
kind of hard
it's
to
like...
exactly what to say. Like, there's a whole thing about what... was the Lucy wants a pencil back from Linus, and one of them called Sally an Enigma.
Oh. You know,
and at the end, everyone just eventually leaves, leaving Schroeder with Snoopy.
Right. That is a good bit. And I love Snoopy's howl. Oh! Okay, but anyways, so let's see. This is where we get
Glee Club. After Glee Club is
little known facts.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember this.
Like Lucy is telling Charlie Brown and Linus and Charlie Brown facts about things like the tree. It's a fir tree, and they call it that because it gives us.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Right, okay.
I guess I like I think I enjoyed it more listening to the cast recording tonight than I did in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once again, I don't think the songs are particularly memorable or well constructed outside of the two I mentioned. But then we get to the supper scene, which
supper time. And in the animated adaptation, like when Snoopy's describing the whole hill coming out of the corks, I think what happens in the animated one, we actually have a little fantasy sequence of Charlie Brown going outside with the supper dish, and he finds Snoopy's skeleton on the doghouse. Oh
my! Oh God! Oh. Dog sees God much? Oh man. Yeah, that's dark. That's very dark. With the animated version, does Snoopy have a voice?
Yeah, but it's kind of like.
Is it voiceover like Garfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get.
Well, I think it feels like more of a voice. So, I'd say it feels more like a voiceover than Garfield does.
Right. Okay.
And I mean that's me personally, because like Garfield, his mouth doesn't move. It's just a voiceover, but it still feels like it's coming from him. With me personally, and then with Snoopy, it does feel a bit more like just we have the animation of him, and we have a guy singing over it as if to express his thoughts.
Phil Collins style. Hey, this tragic thing is going on.
The very sad.
Very sad. Oh, you're supposed to be feeling sad right now. Feel sad. This is such a sad moment. Oh God. These theater geek shows have really gone off the rails lately. Between this and rent, holy shit.
There's something I would say, but I won't for the purposes of, trying not to derail it further.
Yeah.
And let's just say it's something you'll be glad I won't mention.
Oh, God.
And so will Blue Dude.
But with the summertime thing, it's just, I love how melodramatic Snoopy is. Once again, the performance is great, and of course the
Something, if I may say it about Snoopy, is like I get
Yeah.
like some productions cast a girl as Snoopy.
Huh.
Maybe the character is female, but kind of one of those things where, kind of like with say the Cat in the Hat and Seussical, I'm sure there are other characters, but that's what comes to mind.
Rafiki.
But no, Rafiki is always played by a female and is changed to female, whereas like Snoopy or the Cat in the Hat, I think it's still a male character, but it can be played by
okay, I get you.
either gender.
Okay.
Yeah, it just can be played by either gender.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Hello, audience. How are ya?
yeah.
Or on the cast recording, hello, home listeners, how are ya?
Right.
It's kind of like, I'm trying to remember, does he actually pull out a tambourine in the revival near the end?
I think he might.
Yeah, because I know, like, my production, like, Snoopy goes behind the doghouse and comes out with a tambourine. Oh, wait, what's it like? It's after, like, just get down off that doghouse and eat! The music starts, Snoopy slowly goes behind the doghouse, comes back out with a cane and sunglasses.
Yeah, I think they do something similar to that, yeah.
And then later near the end of the song, when the whole gospel part is going on, Snoopy goes behind the doghouse and comes out with a tambourine.
Again, I don't particularly think the song or the song structure or anything like that is very memorable, but just the production and the staging of it makes this sequence by itself memorable. I don't necessarily think this sequence needed to be a musical either, or a song. I don't know. I mean, it works for Snoopy's over-the-top eclectic celebration, I guess, but it's just...
I assume at least one production has Snoopy go into the house into the aisles, into the audience for the bit like, hello, audience, how are ya?
Right.
Like, there's this theater not too far from me, like, it's a small venue, so I could... kind of cabaret setup, so I could totally imagine Snoopy just jumping off the stage into the aisle, say, hello, audience, how are ya? He dances around the theater, maybe interacts on... like Pappy's Little Puppy Loves Everyone.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Okay, so personal spaces, you know what that is, right?
How can I not? I was watching like some of the recaps from this channel earlier today with you and Mew, and it's like talking about that show.
Oh yes. So
Sometimes.
yeah, like we didn't actually get to do it, but like when we were planning it, we had like really elaborate staging where like there'd be like a sword fight that like go into the audience and stuff like that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, like like it didn't pan out that way just because we didn't have enough time to like rehearse the fight, but but we were getting like, oh my god, we really need to do a Theater Geeks on that one day, because I could even bring in my buddy for that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll need like a script or a video or something, but yeah.
We don't have a video, but we have the script. And we've got stories. Lots of stories.
Lots of stories, I bet.
Oh yes. All right. But anyways, so we're kind of getting towards the end.
Yes,
so
we are. So then, happiness?
Is that... No, I think there's a couple more things before happiness. I think...
And then my production, I'm pretty sure, just went straight to happiness. Like everyone out looking at the stars and things, then...
Oh, yeah, okay, right, yeah. Once again... I love the set. I love the whole nighttime thing. This is going to sound like a really weird comparison, and really kind of random, but it reminds me of Paper Mario. Because Paper Mario... I know, it's odd.
Might be too odd.
What?
Might not be too odd.
Well, Paper Mario, I just know there's like... there's the one room with all the stars, that game, there's like all the major like star characters that you have to collect, and they're all in this one room, and this one room has like is like overlooking like all these other stars. Like it's basically like kind of like a lighthouse type of room, and it's got like this window, and there's a bunch of stars, and the stars look very much like the stars in this, and it's so pretty, it's so cool.
Yeah. Okay. So Charlie Brown has the little redhead girl's pencil.
Mm-hmm.
He nibbles her pencil. She's human.
Oh, that's a great line.
Maybe today hasn't been such a bad day after all.
Mm.
So was all of this just one day? I don't know if that's quite the case.
Oh, it doesn't fucking make sense at all. The timeline in this thing, no. It is so. It can't be one day. It can't be. I don't. Maybe. I don't know.
The room timeline joke here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no. But I mean, kind of breaking it down, it doesn't really make a ton. I mean, it's like, I guess technically it does open in the morning and close at night, so I guess it could be one day. I guess I just don't think it's made very clear. Oh, man.
So then it all happened on Valentine's Day.
I guess so, yeah.
Wait. Hold on. I need to check something. What is it? Alright, Valentine's Day, of course, is February 14th, but Beethoven's birthday is... Well, it says he was baptized on December 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll have to... Oh my god. Beethoven's birthday is what we're celebrating, but I'm looking on Wiki. It says, there is no authentic record of the date of his birth.
So maybe they're just being all ironic and trolly about it.
Yeah, so I guess Beethoven was born on February 14th, but he wasn't baptized until, like, 10 months later.
Uh-huh.
If that turns out to actually be the case, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. But happiness, once again, it's fantastic. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those songs where like if it's going to be very meaningful if you've ever been so involved in a production of this. Like if you're in the cast or even like me, just on crew, it's gonna make up a very, very fond memory for everyone involved.
I bet. Yeah.
Like I was listening to it earlier tonight, and maybe it was more just a matter of the music and the notes and such of the lyrics, but yeah, goosebumps.
Right. Like of course, I don't have that personal attachment to it, but I still love the song. Like, I definitely think it's the most complete song. Like I think Snoopy and the book report on Peter Rabbit, I think both work in terms of like being cool little novelty vignette songs. But this could be played over the radio. Like this is just a damn good fucking song, just in general.
And of course, at the end with Lucy.
Yeah,
you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, and then I love how in the revival, what happens is basically the set comes down and it's just this big giant version of the logo with maybe that's what the curtain always looks like, and you just couldn't tell because of the crappy camera quality. Right. You know, the logo with Charlie Brown and Snoopy sitting on the doghouse, which is very cool. And then it comes back up, and they kind of just do a little dancing thing, and and then that's it. It's like in my production. So after that, whatever the last lyric is, like, so you have that whole thing of music at the end, and you have Charlie Brown center stage, and all the friends are kind of in a couple lines, and they're kind of like just going down their lines, and as each one approaches Charlie Brown, they pat him on the shoulder or something, stuff like that. Right. And then Lucy approaches him, of course, like, "You're a good man, Charlie Brown." Yeah. And now if I may ruin the mood, I remember hearing some story about like someone was singing it for a choir recital or something. They're rehearsing, and the director comments on how she's not, there's too much hap, not enough finesse. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no.
Naturally, everyone just burst out laughing at that.
And on that note, good night, everyone. No.
I thought you might have been serious.
Oh, I don't know. I could have been. I could have crossed my mind for a second, but no.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. We're pretty much done. So final thoughts. I mean, I think we've basically kind of been saying the same thing while going
Nice show.
through.
Do you think this show would appeal more to? Maybe it depends on the production, but do you think this show would appeal more to children or an older crowd?
I think it's that's a good question. I think
Yeah, maybe it does depend on the production.
in general, I'd say. In general, I'd say the revival is probably more aimed at kids, but adults very much can appreciate the spectacle of it all as well.
Yeah, maybe some productions, the level of aiming at kids is higher than others. Some it's higher, some it's lower. I think with the
more minimalistic productions, I would think that it'd be more aimed towards adults. And I also think, in general, it's very aimed towards just fans of Schulz and people who are nostalgic about Schulz in general.
Yeah, which maybe that's what I also mean by older crowd, but
right, yeah,
maybe it's a mix.
Like specifically, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's definitely one. I mean, like that's kind of permanent, permeating pop culture. Like I mean, just look at the Lego Movie that's a perfect example.
Which Charlie Brown character do you think would be a master builder? Linus?
Linus. Oh, most definitely Linus. Not even a question.
Milhouse, Linus, Michelangelo.
Fucking Milhouse, man. Like, when I watched that movie with my dad, Milhouse got the biggest laugh out of any movie.
For some reason, I'm not too surprised.
Milhouse. Oh, God. Oh, that movie's fantastic. So anyways, so, what do you think about the potential of, it's weird, like, how do you think they would ever do this as a movie?
Well, no, we already have that animated adaptation.
Right, but I'm talking like a live-action movie. Do you think they would go the route of getting kids to do it? Do you think they try to do the adult version? What do you think?
I think the question before that is live action or animated.
I think an animated one would be really easy to do. Kind of a no-brainer.
Hell, we've got that one coming up.
Oh God! Oh, don't remind me of that. But I'd be more interested in if they had the balls to try a live-action movie.
That would be interesting. I'm guessing if it was live-action, they probably would go with younger. Maybe not, the exact age that these characters are, but kind of like tweens, early teens.
Right.
Yeah.
And
let's go with tweens.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. I mean. But how cool would it be to get like a live-action version that incorporated the same sort of like, sense of scale into everything, but just had it be adults? It probably would translate because.
I'm not entirely sure if it would translate to screen all that well.
I don't. Yeah, totally different mediums. You're right, but it'd be an interesting experiment, though. I mean, I doubt we'd ever see it, but I don't know. With the right director, stuff like the oversized couch and stuff like that. Just incorporate those kinds of physical sets throughout the movie. I don't know.
I just wonder if would the trailer. I'd love to see how the trailer hides the fact that it's a musical.
Well, I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard, considering I don't really think the musical elements are all that prominent to begin with.
I don't know, with the nature of, like, this show and its songs, I feel like it's, you would want that music in the trailer.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe this is just going to be a joke I'm going to have from now on, because, like, so I finally saw the End of the Woods trailer recently, and...
Oh, jeez, oh, sweet Jesus, that movie's a hot mess.
I mean, I love how literally
I can't believe I
only
was excited for that movie at one point.
I love how literally the only indicator that it's a musical is from director of Chicago.
Right. Who, by the way, also directed the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean, so it's like, you can't call him a prominently musical director.
And I have to say, the visual style of it, I have to say, reminded me of Maleficent.
Yeah, very much so. And I had no idea it was bumped up to January, too. That can't be
January?
fucking good.
Wait, January? Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Talk about a kiss of death, right?
Wait. What the hell? Okay, Wiki still says December 25th, but I'm gonna...
The trailer I watched, it said January. So I'm getting that based on the trailer.
Maybe it was...
What was that?
Maybe it's... The one you saw is from a country that's getting it in January?
I got it specifically from the trailer that was linked out on Vision's Fantastics.
I don't know, maybe it was like one of Disney's, like Disney UK or AU, because yeah, it could have been like Australia and the UK aren't getting it until January.
Okay, that could be, I guess. That could
yeah,
be,
it's like IMDb still says Christmas for USA.
Mm-hmm. Still, the trailer definitely didn't sell me on it. I mean, you're right. It totally has like the Maleficent motif look to it, and looks ugly.
Oh God! No.
What was that?
Like, let's see. Like, imagine this You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown movie if it looked like in the style of Maleficent.
Oh no.
Like similar.
Oh God! Just a fucking.
So Lucy is going to be good, and Charlie Brown is the friggin' psychopath. No, can't be Charlie Brown. It has to be no. Maybe Schroeder becomes the psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be Charlie Brown. He's too big of a role in the first place.
I love how it's like they show Johnny Depp, but it's like they literally just show his hand.
Oh yeah. I find it funny because the wolf doesn't have that much stage time in Into the Woods. So Johnny Depp, I guess, won't be having much stage time then. And that's pretty early on.
It's Johnny Depp, so they're gonna change it around to make him a prominent part.
What at the end it turns out the wolf never dies, like at the very end, like Into the Woods and happily ever after. I wish. Still alive.
He's like Robbie from War of the Worlds.
No, he pops up at the very end of the credits.
Oh God.
Still alive.
Oh God. Okay,
For some reason, I can just imagine during the credits, like the wolf appears to the side, Johnny Depp wolf, and he taunts the audience. Maybe he's like, sees some lady and some young girl, and, hello, little girl, and trying to seduce her, by seduce, I mean, some sort of makes up seduce her so he can eat her.
Oh no. Oh
But
God.
now we're just going on Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Snoopy is the wolf.
Okay, there we go. And on that note, good night, everybody.
Maybe it'll